I have something to confess. Like, this is like a fear of mine that's been lingering within me for a very long time. And it's something that I've just tried over and over again to fix and to overcome, but it's not easy. And I know I've just been trying my best. That is my fear of drowning. And I recently felt like challenging myself to conquer that fear I have with the ocean, because in reality I actually really love going to islands and just looking at the ocean. Like, it's like one of the most enjoyable moments of my life, like going and being around islands and stuff like that. I absolutely love it. But I also have a very like deep fear of like swimming, and especially in the ocean. I don't know, like once I just go inside the ocean, like I end up getting like a panic attack. Honestly, it's just like a full blown panic attack. Like I just start panicking, and I refuse to even like be like to let go of like to just let myself be in the ocean. Like I don't know, I just can't bring myself to do that, and like today I went in the ocean like literally 2 times. Like obviously I did not. I had like a float on, and like I was panicking internally so bad, but and I wanted to like just climb back to the boat. Like I didn't even want to stay in the water, but like I told myself, like don't do that. Like you want to conquer that fear, so like what are you going to get from like stepping out and like going back to the boat? So essentially what I did was like I told myself, hey, it's okay if you don't want to like it's okay if you need a float or you have to hold on to something, but today it's like it's about like just looking into the ocean. Essentially, what I did today ties very closely with like exposure therapy, which I'll try to not go too deeply into the details. But essentially, exposure therapy is to overcome like phobias that you have, right? Or any fear, irrelevant fear that you have towards anything. I've always had this very deep fear of drowning for some reason. So yeah, anything with swimming and stuff like always panicked the hell out of me. And yeah, so the only step that I told myself is, okay, let's not let go of anything. Let's just look into the ocean. Today is just to look in the ocean. You don't have to swim. You don't have to you can have a float. You can hold on to anything you want. But look into the ocean, because I've never done that in my life. Like I've never had the guts to like even look at the ocean or anything. Like I just absolutely do not have the guts to do that. And yet like today I told myself, let's do that. So I wasn't being too hard on myself. I just, okay, like let's look. And I looked, and it's like the most beautiful view I've ever witnessed in my life. It's so, so beautiful. I was like, I couldn't stop looking. I couldn't stop looking. I was panicking. I was dying out of fear. I was like literally, I every inch of my body just wanted to like step up and like get out of there. Like I just wanted to do anything to escape. But another part of my brain was like, I'm actually enjoying this view so much. Like it's so peaceful to look at the fish and like corals, and like I've never witnessed like corals and like fishes in the ocean like ever in my life. So like it's my first time, and it's like, oh my god, like it's so worth it. Fighting my fears was, like so worth it. Like I didn't completely conquer it, right? I was holding on to things and like having a float, like but like that's totally fair, because I don't know how to swim. Like I've been trying to learn how to swim my entire life, and it's been not easy. I've been trying, and yeah, I'm just so proud of myself for doing what I've done today, and that's exactly what this video is for. And I think we are fighting against all of our fears every single day, and some of the fears are like apparent, like having fear of ocean and stuff like that, or fear of drowning. But some of our fears, maybe it's not so physical in nature, not so apparent. It's somewhere deep within our hearts. Sometimes we know it, sometimes we don't even know it, right? Like fear of being loved or fear of being seen, like stuff like that. It's like when we sort of place a lot of importance on fears that are related with the physical reality. Like for example, if someone has fear of clowns, or like fear of like, whatever that is physical in nature, like there's many ways for us to conquer it, and there are people who are willing to help us with that. But when it comes to fear of like being seen and fear of being loved, and a lot of the stuff that are more mental in nature, that's within your heart, like I feel like it's more challenging for you to like to conquer it, because sometimes you don't even know, like you don't even recognize, because it's so deep within you, you don't even know that maybe you do have a fear of being seen, and maybe it manifests its way in like shyness and like social anxiety, but if not recognize that, because it's so deep within you and something about you, like you don't even want to admit that, because like once you've admitted a fear, it kind of puts you in this very vulnerable position where you feel like, I know what I'm afraid of and I've accepted it, and now I have to do something about it. Because if I don't accept it, then I can just choose to like not acknowledge it at all. It's more easy for you to validate yourself and be like, oh, I have like a deep fear of darkness. So you try and do everything you can to like avoid dark areas, so like keep your room lights on all the time, like making sure like there's no areas in your room that's like really dark, or in your house or anything. So you take those kind of safety measures, and those are like very apparent. But sometimes like when you have when you have fear of like that are like rooted in like deep insecurities of like being loved and seen, like it's not really apparent, and sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, and sometimes it takes time to sort of realize that like, what are the safety measures that I'm currently doing out of my fear of being seen, like what are the safety measures? I don't go out too much. Maybe that's one of it, right? I say I have social anxiety, but maybe it's stemming from my fear of being seen, because when I go out, people see me, and that triggers something in my heart, because I don't like to be seen. I like to just, my safe space is just being alone, because the thought of like being seen is like so daunting that I don't want to feel and experience that sensation of like, like it's so uncomfortable. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just end up like not even putting myself out there. I don't go out, and then you miss a lot of opportunities in life in general. So like, yeah, like there are a lot of safety measures that we are taking every single day, that is deeply rooted with like a lot of our fears that are like totally unseen. And it's also like a reminder to like give yourself the same gentleness and same patience when it comes to like you conquering fears that are more physical in nature, right? Like today, I know I have a fear of the ocean, and so I was like, you know what, give me a float, let me hold on to something, give me everything that I need to like feel secure. It's my second time. It's been a long time. I was a kid the last time, and I panicked and I jumped back to the boats. Like it's kind of my first time trying to actually fight against the fear. So it's like, yeah, obviously it's not going to be easy. Obviously there's a part of me that's going to panic. And I was being so gentle with myself and being like, it's okay, you can have a float, you can hold on to something. But like, I don't think I am like the same way when it comes to my fear of like being loved and seen, because I just don't know how to be gentle with myself when it comes to it. Like, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I don't know how to, like it's not that I don't want to, it's like how am I like supposed to be gentle with that, like my fear of being seen, like what am I supposed to do? Like oftentimes like when I head out, I just like tell myself like, why are you like so afraid of them judging you? Like, I'm not gentle to myself at all. I start to beat myself up for having social anxiety, beat myself up for being unlovable, when it's actually a deep fear that's very much relevant and valid, because it's so easy to validate our fear of like when it comes to physical reality, like, okay, like I'm afraid of the ocean, and you don't beat yourself up and be like, oh, you're so stupid for like being afraid of drowning, like you're ridiculous, like no, because your brain is like, no, there's actual danger with drowning, I might die. So like it's a lot easier for you to rationalize those type of fears, because like there is some danger that's like kind of life threatening. But like when it comes to fear of being seen and loved, that it's also life threatening, but it's not in an apparent way. Like, if you have a fear of being seen, you might isolate yourself, end up feeling lonely, not having friends and partner or family, like you don't engage with people, you isolate yourself, leads to a very lonely place in your life. When you're lonely, it's easy to get dark, nowhere to go to, no one to turn to, and that pain eats you up alive. You feel depressed, there's no one to connect with. Like, as human beings, we need connection, and you're depriving yourself of connections, and you end up feeling dead. But it's more of like a, it's not an apparent thing. Like, it manifests itself as health issues, because like you don't recognize that maybe a lot of like your physical health issues are like stemmed, like rooted in your fear of being loved or fear of being seen. Like, but you just don't know, you just don't see it. Instead of being gentle with yourself, instead of being like, okay, yeah, I have a fear of being seen, and that's valid, that's fine. Obviously I had something that triggered that in me. It's not out of the blue, it's a lifelong fear that has been building, and something that I've tried relentlessly to conquer by beating myself up. Did not work. So what am I to do? I don't I don't know. I think today is just a reminder to be gentle with myself and to be like, it's okay to have a fear of being seen, it's valid. I can try to conquer that fear in a more gentle way, and not to beat myself up for it and be like, oh, you shouldn't be afraid of being seen. You have to be the most confident person in the room, and you don't, like, why do you have social anxiety? Everyone's fine talking to anyone. Everyone's like, they're connecting, meeting people and stuff like that, and you're over here being this hermit who does not, like, you start to just beat yourself up because, society, essentially we've created such a bad image when it comes to like people who are not social in nature, right? Like, or loners, or no fun, like a lot of labels given. But we don't have to care about that. If you're also someone who has a fear of being seen, like, you don't have to really care about those labels. Like, essentially it's like all you have to care about is like, how do I conquer that fear in the most gentle and loving way for myself today, and like, what will that look like? And to brainstorm. Like, obviously it's not going to be easy, because like you kind of got used to beating yourself up. So to kind of take a step back and be like, so how am I going to actually be gentle with conquering this deep fear of being seen? I guess that's something that we can think about, and if you have any ideas, I would love to hear it in the comment section. And wishing you so much goodness and love and light into your life. Hopefully you find the most loving and gentle way to conquer your fear, and whatever that might look like, go ahead and do it. Do not stop yourself. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you.